Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Follow the Money is brought to you by ProfitX, and right now you can compete to become the king of March and win free trips up to $10,000. Download the ProfitX app and use the code VSiNMM. Good Thursday afternoon. Live in Vegas, Circuit Resort and Casino is your spot. The real opening day in Major League Baseball underway, and we get the Sweet 16 tipping off in a couple of hours. We'll get to those games coming up in about 15 minutes right here on the good old program. Live betting numbers right now in Major League Baseball. Let's go games that are kind of close at this point. Twins-Orioles still scoreless right now. They go to the bottom of the seventh. My guy, Trevor Rogers.
Believe it.
Shut out. He shut out the Twins so far through 7 innings.
In-play total 2.5.
Nothing happening here. They couldn't get Ryan. Ryan's already out of the game, so which bullpen blows it here?
I would say Minnesota.
Okay.
Only 5 hits in the game.
It's been, Rogers, I believe, has 4 walks on his ledger today, but overall been super solid.
All right, Tyler O'Neill's up. Let's go. Now or never, kid. Let's make it 7 years in a row.
Can we find a number on him to hit a home run
right
in this
now.
at-bat?
Yep, right now. And Crochet's dealing. The Reds only have 1 hit so far as well, but we're scoreless in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, let me say this. Abbott has allowed 5 hits, or he did allow 5 through 3. The Red Sox currently are minus 120 to win the game. O'Neill's, by the way, 14-1 live to hit a home run in this at-bat. You want a piece?
Yes.
Okay. Put him on the board. 14-1 for a home run here, O'Neill.
Happened last year while we were on the air.
I look at the Red Sox live right now.
Yes.
You're not going to continue to let these many guys on
right.
base and get out of it every single inning. That can't happen. And Crochet is Crochet, and he probably won't allow much of anything at all in this game. So I'd look at the Red Sox there. Angels, Astros, nothing going on. Scoreless. Both Soriano and Hunter Brown have been really good so far as well. Brown has 6 strikeouts through 3. There's a runner on right now, the way it looks for Houston, bottom of the 3rd, and they're currently laying 228 in this game. Total 5.5. And Schwarber went deep for the Phillies, 2-0 there. I will say this. I don't want to overreact, Pauly. It's opening day. The team I talked about 2 days ago with you and Derek Stevens, they were as high as 45-1 when I double-checked. Why can the Detroit Tigers not have the most wins in baseball this year? Offense is going to be there.
What's the number
that they have to get to?
Yeah.
98. And their win total is 85.5.
Blue Jays 194, Yankees 94, Phillies 96, Brewers 97. Got a Seattle and the freight train Dodgers 90. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it.
If they
dominate the division?
Sure, they can.
Yeah.
Brought in Valdez, tons of young hitters who are entering their prime, and the offense was pretty damn good last year until they completely fell apart in the final month and allowed the Guardians to get back in that thing. I just think at that number again, boy, I'm going to look around actually today. Again, I don't want to overreact to one game on opening day, but I felt that way before, and you're going to have Skubal and Valdez back-to-back for 30-plus starts this year. Pretty good. You got to love that division as well for them.
You want to get nuts? The Padres are 13-1 to come back to win the game. 6 rip. Detroit. 10.5 the in-play total.
By the way, Schwarber not only homered for the Phillies, but Sanchez has been dealing today for the Phillies.
All right. Cardinals are on the board. Something just happened here. Rasmussen gave up a home run. Oh, the Phenom went deep.
The young kid hit it?
Weatherholt, yeah.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah, he just went deep.
I'll get that right now. I'll find out what he was to hit a home run.
All right. A lot of hype with that kid, too. So the young kids are getting it done today.
He was, they didn't post a number yet.
Uh-huh.
There's a great Twitter account. Did I give him a free pop? You know what this is. For those who want to follow it with the home runs.
Yeah, the number, yes, it's good.
It's at MLB Home Run.
Mm-hmm. And he uses BetMGM lines, odds, I believe.
Yeah, so you might be able to find better sometime. You will actually on some of the players that hit home runs, but they just posted that Weatherholt went yard, but they never attached a number to it that he was today. I'm sure they're going to put out another one with that. Some of the guys that went yard today, by the way, that Sal Frelick for the Brewers, he was 10-1 to hit a bomb today, and he went deep. Ryan O'Hearn for the Pirates earlier today was 8-1. Jacob Young was 22-1 for the Nats to go deep. How about that? Some bold predictions from VSiN host Matt Brown on the website.
He loves the Dodgers and had to grab Ohtani in the draft we did MVP.
Yep. I don't know if he wrote about that one. I read it today. I don't recall. I think he went bolder than that, but he said the White Sox are going to beat their season win total by 5 to 10 games. They're losing right now to the Brewers on opening day 14-1.
So White Sox and Rockies, 3 years in a row, 100-plus losses, and let's see what they look like this year, and especially if the White Sox can at least be competitive. Okay, fair enough.
Yankees are going to go under their season win total by at least 5 games.
Okay.
I like them again this year. I just think now this is a big if because they have dudes already who are hurt or not ready to go for the full season in the staff. But once they come back and you can have Will Warren there and you can have Schlittler going, who goes tomorrow against San Francisco, and you're going to get Cole, obviously, and Rodon at some point. Fried was awesome last night. And that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Judge is going to be anchoring that offense. I don't agree with him on that one. I do agree with this. Barring injuries, the MVP races are already over with. Had the discussion yesterday with Mike Samich when you were out. If Judge plays, and you and I did this as well, if Judge plays, let's say 145 games.
Well, okay. That's where I was going. National League, yes. American League, no. The guy can get hurt.
Yeah, if they played their games, though.
But
look again, this is not even retroactively going back to last October, November when Cal Raleigh didn't win. But think of the year that Cal Raleigh put together on a division-winning team, 60-plus home runs, Gold Glove catcher behind the plate.
Yeah.
And he couldn't win? If Judge plays 145 games or thereabouts, he's going to put up incredible numbers. Last night's meaningless. It's one game. Who cares? And the numbers are there. Who beats him? I just don't think it happens.
Okay. Well, on the flip side, this is Bond's territory now. I mean, if he's going to win it 4 years in a row, and what he's going to do, not to mention the offensive numbers he's going to put up and what he's going to do pitching. And then he was lights out the other day with how many guys he struck out. So it's just, I
can't make a case I didn't even look really at the NL this year. I really didn't even look.
I mean, yeah, Soto's the second choice. He's like 8-1. That tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And 2-0 Orioles already. Continue to batter this Twins bullpen.
Oh, they're getting to him already?
2, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Already 2 across.
All right. Yeah. Matt Brown says the Braves are going to finish under 500 and might be sellers at the deadline.
Uh-huh.
Well, bad news there with that pitching staff as well.
Right.
Because Spencer Strider is going to be out again and for a while. And he just wrote about all the guys who are banged up in that rotation and beyond. The PED suspension to Profar as well. And he likes a lot of those teams, obviously, in the National League East. The Pirates get a wild card spot in the National League. Again, well, that's not a surprise just because a lot of people love the rotation and they added some pop to that lineup, third fewest home runs in all of baseball last year, made some additions to that. Now, Connor Griffin's going to start the year in the minor leagues because of how he finished spring training, but he was a short shot to win NL Rookie of the Year the entire time. He writes that the Dodgers could win 103 games if they wanted to, but they don't want to. I definitely am not betting their win total over.
Well, if you're down on the Padres, though, how easy is this division?
Well,
how many games do they win the division by? Which also maybe helps out his point because they won 93 last year and they had a plethora of injuries. But if you're not going to get pushed at all,
could they win the division by winning 90 games?
Yes,
that's what I think too.
Mm-hmm.
Because now many people expect the Rockies to be improved, but what does that mean? 60 wins, 65 wins tops, probably. The Diamondbacks are not going to be very good. This does not go back to last night's opening day start. It's one game. That's all. I'm not very high on the Giants. I think they could be fine, okay, but I'm not expecting them to be like a 95 win power. And the Padres are there a lot at the end of the year, but to overcome the Dodgers and win like 90 plus games and take the division, I don't see it happening. He also writes that Nolan McLean leads the majors in wins for the Mets. Matt Humes is high on him as well.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's a bold prediction.
That is a tricky market to make bets in, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Munoz to lead the league in saves, which absolutely makes sense for the Mariners. First of all, he's absolutely filthy.
Yep. They're
going to score runs again this year. And he's got just a stellar rotation in front of him that could set him up for like 3-1 leads all the time. And Matt Brown also wrote at vsin.com, the final 4 teams will be the Dodgers and the Mets in the National League, with the Orioles and the Red Sox in the American League. That would be, you know what? That's actually, I'll say it right now. That's a sexy Final Four. I would be intrigued by that.
I'm down on the whole I just, you know how I feel about the organization. I think the Orioles had their chance and blew it by not making moves. You're going to go from 75 wins to take that big of a jump?
Well, they also went from, 98 to 75? One of those. And now they finally made the moves, which is like we were begging for this 2 or 3 years ago. And they finally go out and get a guy like Pete Alonso. And I think a lot of people are expecting big things, obviously, from those prospects who have seemingly been around now for 2 or 3 years as well. But that is, look, I'm not going to be surprised if the Blue Jays are in the World Series again this year.
Yeah, I like Boston. I like Toronto. I just think the division's too tough to think that, you know, and again, we mentioned MLB.com has them ranked top 10. I have to see it first with the Orioles.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm with them, Dodgers, Mets. Absolutely.
No, I totally get where you're coming from. I'm just saying, trying to fast forward to October, I think that would be kind of sexy because that would mean that all these moves popped for the Orioles and all their young dudes probably had like super solid seasons, obviously. And I think they'd be probably a fun watch at that point. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, we'll hit the Sweet 16. Some phenomenal numbers on John Calipari is an underdog. The current number, by the way, against Arizona ties for the biggest dog he's ever been. We'll tell you how he's done coming up next.
Hey, let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. It's March, which means the madness is officially upon us, and the folks at VSiN have gone crazy with this one. For $29.99, you get unlimited access to VSiN Pro through May 1st. I'm talking picks throughout the tournament, public betting data for every single game, sharp tools, projections, articles, and more, which means every day you wait is an opportunity missed. Just click the link in the description to get started. It's March, baby. Now back to the show.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, there is a developing situation now in this Red Sox and Reds game opening day here. Still scoreless, top of the fifth. Runners on first and second for Boston right now. There is one out. I honestly don't think I've ever seen this in Major League Baseball in my life. There was a line drive off the bat of Roman Anthony towards first base. And the first baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, his name is Sal Stewart. And he tries to glove it like this and make a play on it. It could have been a potential double play.
Yeah.
He misread it, and the ball on a line drive smokes him, like right here on his wrist. And it just, the way it looked like his wrist was shattered.
Yes, I thought he broke it too.
Oh my God, with that slow motion. But now is he going to stay in the game?
Yeah, he seems okay. I know he completely whiffed on it.
Look at that. I've never seen that. He drops his glove. He was in so much pain he couldn't even go after the baseball. Oh, that's bad.
Bad, yeah.
Oh.
Remember, we were woke. This is a long time ago. We were doing local radio, ESPN here, the affiliate. I told the story. I was in high school and I tried the Ricky Henderson, Barry Bonds snatch catch, and I missed and broke my nose.
Yeah, off your face.
And so it's kind of like, right? How do you? It's coming. I don't know how you're not even close with your glove on a line drive, and it comes up and whacks him right there on the arm. But
his glove missed it by, 4 inches probably?
Yeah. In any event, they got some thunder going here, and 2 on, 1 out with Story up after a blooper, and then the rocket off his arm. So up to 5.5 in play now on the game. Okay. 2 on, 1 out.
All right. By the way, I was pegged by a pitch in the middle of my back one time. Kid was throwing some smoke. It is funny because it hurts like hell at first, but then it eventually wears away and you're completely good to go. But that's the middle of my back compared to his wrist like that. And, I'm playing high school baseball, and a little bit of difference between that and taking one like 115 miles off the bat from Roman Anthony.
Well, I know you had a problem. Well, you had a problem with what the Orioles did. Rogers only had 88 pitches. So they finally score for him. They take him out. Now the bullpen might blow it.
Great.
So here we go in Baltimore. 2-1.
Yeah, fun. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
When they decided, okay, these games tonight, let me get to this. Arkansas, it's now, this number is sitting at, it's been moving in the last couple of minutes. Got to 8.5 as Arizona's favorite tonight. Back down to 7.5 now at DraftKings. 8 at some spots, still 8.5. So the biggest dog John Calipari's ever been, at least in the tournament, was back in 1996 when UMass was 7.5 to Kentucky. And that's an 85 total NCAA tournament games. Also, when he's been listed as a dog in the tournament, it's been 13 times. 9-3-1 ATS, going 7-0-1 ATS, while with Arkansas and Kentucky, and 7-1 ATS as a dog of 4 points or more in the dance. In the NCAA tournament or conference tournament with Kentucky and Arkansas, Calipari is 11-0-1 ATS as an underdog. Is that enough for you to bet on this team tonight? I think it's a bad matchup for him.
I agree. They don't play defense. Plus, Arizona's going to get so many easy baskets and points. As we mentioned earlier in the week, number 1 in free throws a game. 72 so far in the tournament. 72 free throw attempts. And as we also said, they're only here because of Acuff. I mean, High Point was game, and they definitely could have won that.
Yeah.
But Acuff didn't make all the plays. But as we talked about earlier, my concerns about Lloyd, and he's never won in this spot. 0-3 in the Sweet 16. They've lost 5 in a row in the Sweet 16 or later. 4 is a favorite. And double-digit favorites in the Sweet 16. If we get there, 37-3 straight up. St. Peter's beat Purdue. Arizona beat Kansas in 97. Indiana beat Duke in 02. And as Max Hoffmeyer said with us last week, the last 2 years, Sweet 16 and on, favorites of 6 or more. This is your big boy because it involves several games. 51-6 straight up. But I would think this could just be crazy in terms of what props can cash and what can be done with the total and how many points we see that are scored in this game. 50 points, both teams each half 150-1. Both teams to score 95, 11-1. I mean, it could be one of these crazy games.
Yeah, it's going to be. So the problem for Arkansas definitely is what you mentioned. It's going to be in the paint. Arizona is elite with their guys scoring in the paint and around the rim. And Arkansas is far from great at defending that. And in fact, if you want to look at the closest example of this to a game that they recently played, would have been the Florida game when they lost like 111-77, and Florida hit 3 threes in the entire game. And they scored at will. They absolutely killed them. They got whatever they wanted down low. And I think that Arizona has a chance to do the same thing. Now, Arizona, again, pretty much great almost everywhere. They don't shoot a lot of threes. They don't make a lot, whatever. Arkansas, to overcome that, I think would have to bury a ton of shots, which is what they did against Vanderbilt in the SEC title game. But I think that's also an outlier because you're not going to get guys going bombs away like several guys will for the Hogs. So I don't know how they the points per possession thing is going to be very difficult to overcome when Arizona is going to get what they want at the rim. So Acuff is going to have to play out of his mind again, which he absolutely can do, but he's going to need some teammates to step up and hit shots from deep. I'd love to see Arkansas win the game, to be quite honest. I think that'd be great based on future stuff that I have. But very, very difficult here. Illinois and Houston, to me, this would be a better candidate to maybe get involved with live. Because I think even if Houston gets out to a big lead against Illinois they have the capability on offense to hit them with runs and score pretty much from all over the court. And
this total might fly over the total when you think about it. Because, Houston's number 2 in defense since February 1st. And again, we've talked about how it looks like they play with 7 guys out there. But if it's going to be up and down and more maybe a higher pace, quicker pace rather, and how Houston is knocking down shots and obliterating people. I mean, what they did to Texas A&M, dominant performance and how they're going to score and how they can score and how many points they're scoring. 42% from 3 the last 5 games. But something's got to give because Illinois is top 5 on offense and Houston's so good defensively. I want to see if there's the spurt ability, if Illinois can do damage and score enough points, and also what they've done out of the halftime. They've been great coming out of halftime, but this is a whole different ballgame, what you're stepping up with competition when you're talking about Penn and VCU, and now you're going to big boys and a road game, with the game being in Houston.
I would agree. And this is why, like, at this current number of 2.5, you're going to be able to get a much better number probably on either side at some point, maybe even early on in this game. And as I said that about Illinois, with offensively having that capability to come back, even if Houston is down by 12 with, let's say, 4 minutes to go before halftime, they are good enough to correct that and make the halftime adjustments. And Sampson's a really good coach, and defensively they can eventually shut down the Illini because they also have the offensive guys to actually get back in the game. That's my approach there.
Yep.
Have you done anything yet with Iowa and Nebraska?
I like Nebraska based on the history. And it just history has not been kind to when a team is in this situation like Iowa. They're the 7th team since 2002 to win a Sweet 16, coming into the Sweet 16 off a win as a double-digit dog. Previous 6 all lost. I just think it's you played a great game. You were up 13 against Florida. You get the miracle 3 to win it, the botched execution, and I just think it's now. I want to see the atmosphere. I want to see if Nebraska fans take over here because that was just awesome to see that in a tournament game and what they did playing a home game in Oklahoma City in that environment in the 2 games, especially what they did against Vandy. I think Nebraska keeps rolling, and I do think it's the end of the line for Texas, but that's a lot of points. Purdue 8.5, and Texas, the only double-digit seed that's left. Painter since 2024 in the tourney, 9-0 ATS is a favorite covering by 7 points per game. I think they're too good offensively, and I think we'll see more of the Texas team that had issues defending in the regular season in conference play, and they were 10th in defense in the SEC. I'm shocked at what they've done defensively in the 3 tournament games.
Yeah, and I expect Brain Smith to bounce back now in this game as well. And as you said, Max Hoffmeyer joined the program on Monday. He had a great breakdown. He bet him over 9.5 assists in this game. He thinks it's a great matchup based on how Texas plays defense, and also Smith is off maybe his worst game of the entire year, where he couldn't make a shot, turning the ball over, etc. It was far from great, and that, the kid is awesome. He was the favorite to win the Wooden Award before the season started, so betting on him to bounce back probably makes some sense. But let me throw this at you with Iowa and Nebraska. What if McCollum is the best coach remaining in the tournament, and Sturtz, as I said about Smith, Sturtz was far from great against Florida.
Yeah, that's true. They won the game, and he didn't play well.
Sure. If he bounces back, doesn't turn the ball over, and makes shots tonight, McCollum appears to be the absolute bee's knees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he is, no question.
Yeah.
Yep. But I just, the more I think about it, it's just I think Texas could get run out, and Houston should win this game. They're the better team at home, and what they've done offensively is just scary. And a ton of points in the Arizona game. What do you think of the total in the Iowa game?
I have no opinion.
No?
No, I'd like to bet it under, to be honest, but at this current number, I can't do it.
We're brought to you by ProfitX. If you're not on ProfitX yet, now's the time. Sign up by April 6th. Purchase at least $25 and get a free $25 boost. Jump into their King of March contest. Use the code VSINMM. Make your first purchase. Learn about the contest on their homepage. No entry fee required. Download ProfitX code VSINMM. Make your first purchase and take your shot at becoming the King of March.
Professional sports bettor Erin Rynning next. I can't wait to hear where he has the Lakers in his power ratings full season and over the past month.
This is Follow the Money on VSIN.
Talk some NBA here as professional sports bettor Erin Rynning joins the program as we head out to the Progressive guest line. It's been a minute, ER. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Always good to be with you guys, and hopefully finally get to the finish line and get to some NBA playoff basketball.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Amen.
In the meantime, I want to you've always been so good, after the new year and then like in the springtime, okay, my power ratings say this about a team. You might be missing this. You did it with the Celtics a couple of years ago when they were still under the radar, and you're like, look, they're my best team in the Eastern Conference. You're like, whoa, okay. And they were still available like 18-1 to win the conference, and they did. I want to ask you where you're at, like full season with the Lakers. They only have 2 losses this month overall, but they've really turned it on. Luke is playing out of his mind. Where are you at with their power rating, like full season, but more importantly, like since they really did start to play better basketball over the past month or so?
To be honest, guys, I've lost some money betting against the Lakers. I thought it was a bit of a mirage with this team. Again, if you look at the point differential, 1.5 on the season, in games decided by 5 or less, 21-7. So, they've won clutch games, and certainly a lot of that has to do with their experience and Luka and their offensive firepower. One thing to keep in mind here with the Lakers, the last, I would say, 15 games, 13 to 15 games. I haven't really checked it now. The last couple of games, things have kind of caught up, but they have been over that stretch of games when they've caught this hot streak, Mitch, they've been about the best 3-point shooting team. But defensively, I mean, come on. They are not a team that's going to hold teams to that amount shooting. So I've been kind of betting them over and against them, and I've lost some money with that.
Okay, interesting. Because during this stretch, top 5 defense, and I think that Marcus Smart has been awesome as well. And certainly they need him because when you're playing Reeves and LeBron and Luka at the same time, and Luka stepped his game up defensively as well, that makes a big difference for the Lakers. Where are you at with Detroit? And what this could look like with Cade or without Cade, and if they can get to the finish line and get the 1 seed.
Yeah, well, note with that, Pauly, when Smart has been out, I've played the Lakers over. That's been good.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, and back to Detroit. You watch them play. It's this new breed of NBA. They play hard. They play very physical. I like that style. You get into the playoffs. Obviously, you're concerned about Cade here and how he's going to come back. To me, it's more about once they get into the playoffs and, they got their 1-2 punch right now, but what's going to happen when they're going to need their third, fourth, fifth punch and the adjustments are going to be made. All of a sudden, hey, Cade's got 2-3 guys hanging all over him. Can other guys step up and play? I think the defense will be fine with this team, but how they adjust offensively will be key to me. For me, I can't pick them coming out of the East.
Well, okay, so let's pretend for a second here that, and I guess it really doesn't matter if they land the 1 or the 2 under this scenario, but if their first round matchup is a team, let's say like Charlotte, and Cade is still compromised, overall, how do you think that would go? Like and how high are you overall on this Hornets team anyway?
The last time I was on, guys, I told you. I mean, the Hornets were the 5th best team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
I think certainly the line is caught up. I would love to play the Hornets tonight against the Knicks, but man, I just laying 1 just didn't seem that was any value. You saw them; they lost 5 in a row against the spread. They came back and won 4 now against some weaker competition. But no, I think that Charlotte team is fascinating. Defensively, they've been very good, very high IQ basketball at this point. Certainly, yeah. I mean, let's say Detroit plays Philadelphia. All of a sudden, Philadelphia gets healthy. That becomes, Philadelphia should maybe be, if Embiid and George and Maxey are all playing well, they probably should be, let's be real, a 4 seed, and all of a sudden they're the 8 seed. So it could be very tricky in the first round for Detroit for sure.
We both love San Antonio and think they can run down OKC. Are you a big playoff experience guy, Matters, and big game experience?
Yes and no, not really. Like I said, the NBA has changed, guys. It's just you got to be able to play defense, certainly the full half court. And look, last year we had Indiana and Oklahoma City in the finals. Not a ton of playoff experience, certainly within Indiana there. So I think things have totally changed. If you can play defense, it's just this style of up-tempo basketball, pressure defense. It's kind of just turned into a youthful league for me. So that's my biggest regret in the NBA this year is I really like San Antonio coming into the season. I loved Wemby, but I just didn't trust that guy could play 65 games healthy after last year and how he is. But man, I really enjoy the Spurs. I think they're great. I think they certainly have a chance to win it all this year.
Oh, a chance to win the whole thing. That would be fascinating. So you made it a point to go watch the Spurs out here in Las Vegas during the Cup. I want to ask you this question about not comparing Wemby to players that are still in the game and active today in the NBA. But you've been doing this for a long time, ER. Just in your brain, like thinking of the guys who have had the biggest impact on the court on both sides, does anybody even compare to him? I'm talking about defensively what he does and also what he's able to do offensively.
I don't think so. But the thing is, he's not quite there offensively. Some teams have adjusted, and then he's adjusted back. But defensively, I mean, you watch those games, guards come into the lane, they reverse course and go right back out. So, no, he's just you just really pray that guy stays healthy and you love his competitive. That's what I like about the Spurs. They're not taking any days off. They're playing hard every single night. So actually, I'm hoping the matchup sticks. But next Saturday I'll be in Denver for Joker against Wemby. So hopefully that goes down. Everybody's healthy.
Yeah, they're leading a lot of these highlight shows and getting the national attention. I'm speaking of the Atlanta Hawks. As a pro bettor, what do you do with the Hawks that they've won 16 of 17, but most of that came against tanking teams or teams that were compromised and without key players?
Well, I love the fact they got rid of Trey Young, and they've kind of come together. You know, they haven't been as strong defensively. They've actually improved a little bit more on the defensive, and that's where I have my concerns with this team. Bet them last night against Detroit. Again, you had this Atlanta team that I think is all out, obviously, to try to get this fifth seed in the NBA playoffs. Against the Detroit team without Cade didn't really matter. I haven't capitalized as much as I should, Pauly. To be honest, because I just wasn't sure where they were from a defensive standpoint. But give credit for how that team has been able to come on, and no regret getting rid of Trey Young, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. It's only a 3-game schedule tonight, ER. But do you have a best bet maybe, or something that you definitely like?
For me, it was a small bet on the Pelicans here. I've been betting on just about every game, 9-1 against the spread their last 10 games. I mean, this, to me, it's a pretty clear example what the NBA should be about. Obviously, the Pelicans don't have their first-round pick next year. Hey, let's not tank. The one team that wasn't very good, was bad the first half, not tanking. They switched coaches. They've been very competitive. They've been very good, and covering a lot of spreads here down the stretch. And like I said, Detroit, I don't. For me, not a lot to play for. They got the 4-game lead here without Cade, back-to-back situation, off an overtime game. I would think the Pelicans got a really good chance to win the game.
All right.
Good breakdown.
What do you make of the Celtics now since Tatum came back and long-term for this season?
The biggest thing to keep in mind here with the Celtics is Tatum's not going to be 100%. This is not the guy who won the NBA championship. I mean, you see the greatness in spurts, but is he going to be able to get this back by late May or June? I'm not so sure about that. Last night, great second-half comeback against the Thunder. What happened? They shot 44% from three-point land. It's always going to be about the three. That's all. I just watch this team, and they got the math part figured out. Great efficiency on both ends. I always come away I'm not overly impressed. Cleveland, the same thing. James Harden, give me a break. The guy's quit on the guy's quit on 3 teams. He's a no-show in the playoffs. I can't get into Cleveland. I just don't understand the fit. He slowed the tempo down. The defense has not been good. Yeah. It kind of leaves me on the Knicks. And the Knicks coming out of the Eastern Conference. The Celtics are right there. And can we trust Towns to be able to be the key piece? I mean, there's questions all over, right?
No Absolutely.
Yeah.
All good points and questions, no doubt. Great to talk to you, my man. Good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, good luck to you guys this weekend. Yep. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Hornets just went to 2.5 at DraftKings, and also the Pelicans have been good at home as well, as he mentioned, that ATS run. But, you don't think they're regretting that? Garland's been awesome.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Imagine they made that trade in October.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Because Matherin's awesome.
Yeah.
Because remember, they had the losing streak. He was out. Are you tired of Cappers lying about their record? Juice Reel dropped an update that makes that impossible. Connect your books directly into Juice Reel and get in-depth analytics on your own betting, plus access to what the very best bettors on the platform have their money on. The days of Cappers faking their profits are over. Tail-proven winners on Juice Reel. Download it now. It's free. REL Juice Reel. Go get it. Juice Reel.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, some games in progress right now. Major League Baseball. Angels, Astros scoreless going to the bottom of the 5th. Soriano still in the game. He is at 66 pitches. However, on the flip side, Hunter Brown, he did strike out 9 halos today, but he allowed 4 walks, 102 pitches. He's yanked. He's out of the game after 4 2/3. So that obviously means Astros going to the bullpen in a scoreless game. And Garrett Crochet just got out of a bases-loaded jam, and he struck out the final 2 guys to close the 6th. And the Reds and the Red Sox are scoreless right now, going to the top of the 7th. Crochet right now at 80 pitches, 8 Ks on the game. And the Reds, Andrew Abbott, who was his counterpart today, at 83 pitches. I don't know if he's coming out or not yet for the 7th inning.
2.5 the total. Over minus 150 at DraftKings.
Okay, so here's a quick question for you. 2.5. We all know about for those new to the show and the network, you might not remember this from last year, but the Rangers, the lack of offense was a major storyline last year for pretty much the entire season. Like, they couldn't get anything going. So what's more likely here? That's going to be a thing to watch again at the beginning of the year, or Christopher Sanchez is just so good for the Phillies that you need to look at him on the run line like every single home start. He could be the new Zach Wheeler at home.
I think a little bit of both. Absolutely.
75 pitches through 5 innings, 7 Ks. The guy was on that. He was one of, the best 3-4 pitchers in baseball for the final 4 months of the season last year?
Yep. And Abbott's out, and we got a leadoff triple. Nope, leadoff double for the Red Sox. Yeah, but what you said, you got to go over 2.5, by the way. But that's, we could continue with Texas. They're 15-1 to come back and win, and the Phillies playing home run derby. But I think he's in store for a monster season and how good he could be at home. And I like what we mentioned, too, about Wheeler, that this can happen again.
Yeah. He was a thing, actually, for basically his whole career in Philadelphia. There was a thing with day games as well where it's like, okay, he's not going to give up anything, and the Phillies get him a bunch of run support. What are you looking at for creative season-long props overall? Well,
they did a pretty good job at Will Hill and Caesars, but some of these, I would like the price to be better. But they have will someone throw a perfect game? And yes is plus 750. We've only had 24 in history.
I think you'd have to add a 0 to that.
Yes. I wanted more than that. But at least they got some of that stuff up. 20 wins for a pitcher plus 175. I also don't think that's good enough. 60 stolen bases plus 225.
Okay, so it happened in previous years. Last year, the kid for the Yankees, Caballero, he had 49 to lead all of Major League Baseball. The year before that, it was De La Cruz for the Reds at 67. Acuna had 73 in 2023. But before that, not including the pandemic year, it went under 60 swipes 4 consecutive years. Like, I guess better than even money.
I don't want that.
But I would need probably a little bit higher. That's where I'm at as well.
Right. Well, someone go 40-40. Yes, plus 325.
How many candidates do we have? Soto almost did it last year. Ohtani has recently done it. In fact, here you go. Ohtani did it. He had 54 and 59 in 2024. Acuna with the Braves had 41 and 73 in 2023. Before that, the last player was Alfonso Soriano. I think in our brains we have it that it has happened way more often than that.
Yeah.
But at least you do have some candidates, though. Ohtani could do it again, but does he?
Well, I would rather have that than if someone has 150 RBIs.
Yeah, that's
about the same price.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me scratch that. Ohtani's not going to be running that much this year. Pitching again, he's not going to be stealing that many bases.
Yeah. Okay.
Acuna, fully healthy, might be able to do it again. And Soto was he was 2 stolen bases away, I think, last year at doing that. I think he had 43 home runs, 38 stolen bases. Maybe it was vice versa, but he was very close. Yeah. Here's the most recent players to have 150 plus RBIs. Miguel Tejada in 2004. A-Rod had 156 in 2007. You have to go back to 1998 or circa 19. To do that. Judge, in one of his huge years recently, his best mark was 144 2 years ago. 150. Yeah. Where'd you get that number from?
Yeah, I know. Red Sox on the board. So Abbott gets out of there, and they're on the board immediately. 18 strikeouts in a game, 5-1. No. How many pitches are we talking about?
I know it.
I need more than 5-1 on that.
You're right. And this is not like Bam Adebayo pushing for 80 points and Spolster's going to leave him in the game. How many pitchers are going to be at around 13, 14, 15 strikeouts at a manageable pitch count where the manager is like, you know what? Let's go for 20 Ks in this game tonight. That seems very unlikely in today's baseball.
Yep. 300 strikeouts. 7-1. Hasn't happened since 2018? Is that right?
Yeah, Scherzer, the last guy to do it.
Oh.
Kershaw had 301 in 2015. Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling did it back in 2002, and then Unit did it like every year before that. But It's going on a decade since we've had a 300 strikeout pitcher. So that's probably a number that needs to be much higher than that as well to make it worth a bet. By the way, I did bet the Red Sox when Crochet had that jam there, and I thought they were going to take Abbott out of the game. And as soon as they took Abbott out of the game, what do you think happened?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy they brought in faced 2 dudes, I think, and he's already been yanked out of the game. So was that worth it at 82 or 83 pitches for Abbott? Okay.
Yeah. There's going to be 5 triple plays plus 250. The last one was with the Angels in August. I would like them to put up where we have an unassisted triple play. There's only been 15 in history. It's rarer than a perfect game. The last one was 2009.
All right,
that seems, that's one where you think, how many times do we have triple plays? And are you going to get that many in a season? That seems way high.
Okay, so a quick search here, and you know how the searches have gone in AI here recently with the 1 seeds trailing at halftime. They were way off on that one. However, they just spit back at me that the highest total for an entire league in a single season was 11 back in 1979. Yeah, I don't think we probably haven't approached 11 anytime recently, right? In the modern era, the most any team has had in the same year, Yankees had 3 in 2021, White Sox had 3 in 2016, and the Minnesota Twins are the only team to turn 2 triple plays in the same game.
I was watching the game. Yeah.
Back in 1990?
Red Sox.
Is that right?
Wasn't it the Red Sox?
It doesn't say who they played, but
they did it against the Red Sox, I believe. That was incredible. Yes. That is nuts. But
5 in 1 year. Again, they should probably offer the nose on this kind of stuff as well.
That's not bad to put that up, unassisted.
No, I like that.
8 were shortstops, 5 were second baseman, 2 were first baseman.
You never had an outfielder who comes running in to catch a fly or a pop-up fly ball, whatever, tags somebody and then steps on second base? I thought that was close to happening sometime.
I'm shocked that's happened 15 times. I mean, that's
a big number.
To think about what has to happen with that in order for that to take place.
What kind of number would you need on will any individual starting pitcher have 3+ shutouts this year?
Boy.
I think I would need like 50 to 1 on that. Somebody might get to 2, but 3?
Yeah.
Again, that's the perfect storm in 2026 baseball.
Yeah. They didn't put up 4 home runs in a game this year. They always put that up. Will Hill, I didn't see it this year at Will Hill and Caesars. They've been doing, every year with it be a perfect game, which we mentioned, 4 home runs, triple play stuff, and that's in which, but Schwarber did it last year. And Kurtz.
Oh, that's right.
And Suarez. I forgot about that, too. 3 guys did it.
Yeah, I was watching the Kurtz game.
Great prop, yeah. 3 times in one, God, baseball's funny. 3 times in 1 year. Prior to that, J.D. Martinez in 2017 and Scooter Gennett.
Well, here's the thing. In fact, I was watching the Gennett game with a buddy of mine at the SLS here in town.
Yeah.
We might go another 10 years without getting a single performance like that again. You don't know.
Right. Sean Green in 2002, Delgado in 2003, Josh Hamilton in 9 years later.
Yeah, there you go.
And then, Scooter and JD in 17, and then nothing.
Nothing forever.
Until 3 guys did it last year.
Yeah. Remember that the Kurtz game, he was like 50 to 1 to win the Rookie of the Year, not far before that game.
We're brought to you by Profit X. If you're not on Profit X, now's the time. Sign up by April 6th. Purchase at least $25. You get free $25. Then jump on into the King of March contest. You could win free trips worth up to $5,000 or $10,000. Use code VSINMM. Make your first purchase, then learn about the contest on the homepage. Start playing. No entry fee required. Profit X. Download it. Get it now. Code VSINMM. Take your shot and become the King of March.
Heavy Sweet 16 next. I think we have some good candidates to go on 10-0 runs, which, of course, we can now bet on.